the season started actually last spring. Uh, I was assistant coach last year. Yeah, I was assistant coach last year. To be truthful, I didn't even know I was going to come back. You know, I was thinking about going to another college and everything else, and I got to know the girls so well in this community, and the girls that played for me before that I thought about it real hard. Lottie's sister, great kid. I enjoyed her on the team the first year. It was just a lot of wonderful girls the first 4 years, and I decided with little coaching from Jonas that maybe I should stay here. And I thought if I went home and talked to my wife about whether I should stay or not. And I knew what was coming up. I mean, at the time, last summer, I didn't even have time to really recruit because I was coaching basically by myself. And I thought to myself, I have to stay here and try to rebuild this program. And we were pretty successful the first few years. And I knew this year was going to be pretty tough, even without, and I was truthful to the girls when I talked to them. I told them I didn't even know I was going to be here. And I was still able to get 5 girls. But by the end of summer, all 5 had got scholarships. And so, and then the fall class started a little bit late. And a lot of girls I know didn't know whether they're going to play or not. They weren't here, or whether they were going to even play ball. And so the winter class, most of you guys weren't in the winter class. A few of you were. And so then my main job after that was trying to get a good assistant coach. And my main job, and Carolyn and Jonas knew that I wanted, if I was going to be head coach, and I did get it at the end of the summer, as my main goal was to get a female coach that was raised in this neighborhood and knew the neighborhood, knew Ventura County, knew Oxnard and everything else. And I checked around, and of course I don't want to embarrass Edna, but Edna's name kept coming up. And Pete Martinez, coach at Oxnard, my cousin, he told me about Edna. And I thought to myself, and I checked with, she doesn't know, I checked with other sources, and I said, I think I'm going to have to go after her. And then, and I think Pacifica was trying to hold on to her, because I went to Pacifica and I gave them my card and I said, please have them call me. Have her call me, because they wouldn't give me her phone number. Well, they never called. And I checked the list, and she wasn't on it. And then we went through the list again, a second time. And her name wasn't on it. I went back to Pacifica and gave her my card again. Then through a third party, I got her phone number. And I called her, and Pacifica obviously never told her that I was looking for her. And then finally she got in, and a short story, she's coach, but I got her the Friday before our first practice in spring. So my coaching staff wasn't even intact yet, you know, and then went into practice, and we'd never coached together, and it takes chemistry, just like you guys, you know, who's going to play this position, what can you do? And it's the same thing with coaching. You have to feel out what she can do, what's her strong points, what's my strong points. And of course, Wendy told me a lot about my weak points. But Wendy, you don't have to worry about it. If you make a mistake, Wendy will tell you. But the chemistry, it's just like you guys. Like I said, Wendy came in like 6 games after the season started. She was at BC and decided to come over here because she played at Missouri Valley with Edna. Thank God. I got a great coaching staff, 2 Hispanic females, college degrees. They're raised in this neighborhood, and that was my main goal. So I got that. But anyway, I know the season was pretty tough this year, you know, and they say that in losing, you learn a lot more. Well, we must have learned a hell of a lot this year. But you know, the thing about it, you know, but you know, the one thing that was really amazed me, and Cassie even brought it up when Cassie decided to come back and play. She said she liked the way, even no matter after the game, no matter what happened, you guys had great attitudes and were talked among each other and had good chemistry, no matter what happened, what the score was. And I think that was one of the reasons she decided to come and play. and I appreciate her coming and helping us out. But it was a long season. We had a lot of injuries. I had people hurt. I had some people with grade problems and everything else. But the thing about it is you guys, is that right, Anthony? But the one thing is you guys stayed together. You stayed together. I mean, there was a lot of girls that, like I said, injuries and grades and so forth. But the 11 that finished, you guys were the heart of the team. You guys stayed no matter what. You played through injuries. You played through sickness. I remember, I think one of the last games that Baby T was here, she had like a fever going on. And she showed up in the game and still played. I mean, that's what you're looking at. Ariana, I think she was surprised because she had to play one game at Pierce, a doubleheader, and she was basically delirious by the second game. She was so sick, you know. And, I mean, we had ice packs on her and everything else trying to just keep her alive. But she hung in there. She hung in there. And that's the kind, the 11 girls that made it all the way and played through injuries and everything else. I really appreciate your effort. I appreciate effort of everybody, but especially the 11 girls that stayed. Hopefully this year, I know this year was tough in conditioning and so forth, but it's going to get worse. I'll tell you the truth, okay? Because last year, when they came in, they thought that everybody should be ready to roll, you know? And obviously, we weren't ready, you know, because like I said, people weren't in the fall class. And I think Edna gave you a little feeling of what it's going to be like in the fall and when you work out with her this summer if you have a chance. So anybody that's going to play, look forward to working pretty hard. And Wendy is going to be right behind her, and she's going to be pushing you guys pretty hard too. But what they're telling you to do is what you should have done already. This should already be done. When they came in and started pushing you guys, they weren't doing anything that what should have been expected. That's what the way you're supposed to be all the time. What happened is that some of you guys were in the fall class and weren't ready to roll. But whoever's going to stick around, you'll be ready to roll. And besides that, next year, within 2 weeks after the spring training starts, we already have our game starting. So whoever's going to stay, you better be ready to go because we're going to have games immediately. I want to see what everybody's going to be doing. But I hope everybody, you know, when you're playing softball, like I've coached for many years, the softball team's like a little community. Okay, now we're the coaches. And when you guys go into your careers, you're going to be expected to be on a team wherever you're at a bank or wherever you're at. And there's going to be people you don't get along with. But you're going to have mortgages and gas bills, and your kids want clothes and want to go to Disneyland and all this other stuff, you know. And you're going to have to learn how to be a team member. You might not like the people you work with, you might not like your boss, but you have to learn to deal. And this, you know, softball is softball, but actually it's a training center for you guys to move on, you know. And hopefully, you know, what you're learning here other than softball will help you when you guys get into your future and your careers. Now, like I've told everybody in the 4 years before, I expect all of you to graduate from college. This year went by fast. You guys are already in your second year, or some of you freshmen. And it's going to be 3 more times like that, and you guys are going to be out there hustling to find a job. The job market's really tight. And you guys are going to have to really hustle to find a job. So you need to get, no matter what, I know you guys have to work and everything, and it can be a real pain right now. But at this age, you really have to go ahead and push yourselves, because what you do in the next 3 or 4 years is going to reflect on your future. You know, unfortunately, a lot of marriages occur, and there's unfortunately a lot of divorces. You know, and I'm going from my own family, my tias and everything else. They had 2 or 3 kids or 4 kids, and then they got divorced. They didn't have their degrees, and they had to go find work. It's hard enough finding work as it is, but if you have a degree, at least it opens up the door for you guys. It really does. You know, and the thing about it, and especially you women of Hispanic heritage, right now is your time. This is your time right now. I mean, their doors are open for you, just like I told you before. You know, my cousin Ramona Prieto is the assistant chief of the Highway Patrol because she went to school and she pushed her ethnic background behind her. She used everything possible to move there, you know. And she's also she's a Marissa. She's her father's Irish, you know. She's a Murray. So I mean, you guys really have to come. And this time goes by so fast. You really have to have fun right now because in about 10 years from now, you guys are going to wonder what happened. So really enjoy yourself right now, no matter what happens. Well, enough of my talk and all this other stuff. Heather, do you have anything to say to them about
Well, it was an interesting season, different personalities, and I got to know a lot about coaching women's softball, not girls softball. And I came here, like Todd said, I didn't know what he expected from me, and I kind of let him take control, and I was kind of quiet in the beginning, but then I'm like, no, things need to happen, you know? And that's how it's going to be, you know? You have to work hard to get places, to get where you're headed to, different goals that you're going to have in life, and it takes a lot of hard work. And I want to see you guys move on from here and go to college and play, whether it's in NAIA schools or D2 or even D1. You know, there's a lot of money out there for you guys, and if you could do it through softball, why not? You know, and I'm looking forward for next season. It's going to be rough for me too because I'm going to work out with you guys too. So I'm going to be right there with you guys. I'm going to be pushing you along, and we're only going to teach you whatever we went through to succeed, and not only in softball, but in real life. You really do apply these things in real life, and later on when you think of me because I pushed you so hard, you're going to be like, you know what, if I survive that, I could survive many things, you know? And that's what I really want from you guys next year, and I'm going to miss my seniors. Okay, that's it.
Wendy, you have anything to say? No. She had nothing to say, but every time. But we're in the dugout, and she said, Todd, make a change, make a change, make a change. Todd, go out there and talk to him. I said, I had nothing to say. Okay, well let's get this going. Okay, the first player also is a scholar athlete, and that's from the previous year. And it's great because I was never a scholar athlete. I went to Pacoima Elementary, Pacoima Junior High, and I had to cheat my way through high school, but that's another story. But you know, I was just a jock. I'll tell you the truth, I was just a jock, and then when I paid for it, when I went to college, I had to take about a year of college that didn't even count. So anyway, the first one, she got hurt. We tried to turn her into second baseman. No, Eric worked hard with her. I worked hard with her, and she won a starting spot. And after the Glendale tournament, then she got hurt in the Huntington Beach tournament, Golden West. But she played and did the best she could with her injury, and she's a scholar athlete, Selena Box. Okay, this is a good one right here because this girl right here stayed through the whole thing, never got to play hardly at all. But even when you guys were behind 10 runs, 11 runs, 9 runs, she says, come on girls, we can do it, we're not that far behind. And I would be sitting on the bucket looking at her like, has she looked at the scoreboard lately? You know, but hey, let me tell you, she had your back in the dugout. I wish we could have taped her so you guys could have heard her. But she did a phenomenal job up there, and unfortunately, you know, she never complained. She probably got a base running the first time she got a base running. She says, "Do I have to go in?" You know.
She's like, me?
And then finally, in the last game, in the last inning, she got the bat. And just do the best you can. And of course, their pitcher hit her. And she got on base, so she's batting 1,000. Lazy cat. And now, this is a girl who had a sacrifice because she's a third baseman, but we had to make her a second baseman. And it was it's a hard adjustment if you play one third position, because I don't think she realized how hard playing second was. Third base, you get the ball hit at you, but in second base, you got to cover first, second, pop flies. If you think you've seen a lot of pop flies, you haven't seen nothing yet. But she made a great conversion to second base. Had some key hits for us. Had a good attitude with her practice almost early every time, and she did a terrific job for us. Jasmine Delatorre.
Oh, okay.
Picture.
The next one here is went out in fall with us, and then she had a medical problem, and went through that, and did a great job calling me all the time, letting me know whether she could make practice or not. Came back and played as many games as she could, and like I told you before, she was a cheerleader there too. She never gave up on the team at all, and she finally got into the games, and she made, I know in Huntington Beach, she made a couple of great catches in right field, and like I said before, I don't know how she made it to that doubleheader at Pierce College, but she made it with ice packs and trying to people pushing water in her face. But she did a great job for us, Ariana. The next one here is she joined the team late to help us out. We didn't even know whether she was going to play for us or not. And she led the team in hitting. And when I went to league, you know, you can't vote for your own player. And Pat from Pierce really liked her. But Pat never showed up, so I figured she's not going to get any points from me, and she's not going to get any points from Pat. And there's only 5 more teams left, and everybody's going after their own players. And I thought to myself, well, she's not going to be able to make first team or second team. But when the vote came out, Cassie Dunn was voted in first team, all conference. So we got one girl in all conference, and she did a great job for us. I know right now she's got rotor cuff problems because she had to pitch for us when she had to, and she just stayed in there and threw. And I really appreciate the effort she did. But our first team all conference, Cassie Dunn. this next girl here probably led in all our exercise that Edna and Wendy put them through. She was usually at the top of all of them. And she's in good condition. She must eat good up there at Jersey Mike's. But she had a lot of energy. You know, all of us had to make sacrifice this year in where we played. You know, and I know she's an outfielder. And I told her she had to play shortstop, and she was sort of like, "Are you kidding me?" You know. But she said, "I'll try," and that's what she did. She tried and did the best she could out there. And I know she didn't want to play shortstop. But she was glad to see Cassie play shortstop because that means she got to play center field out there, and she didn't have all those shots hit at her. But she did a great job for us coming in, playing shortstop when I know she didn't want to, and playing outfield, and did a great job for us. I really appreciate her effort. And Brittany Lopez.
Thanks, Mom.
You know, like I told you last summer, I lost 2 pitchers, you know, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I got a hold of Baby T and said she's going to come out for the team. Thank goodness. I had a pitcher, you know, and I know that she was injured, bad knee and everything else, and she went out there and she gave it her best all the time. You know, I wish she could have remained healthy for us the whole year, but I know she played hurt and she played ill. You know, and I really appreciate, never had a negative attitude toward the coaches, probably after the game when they got together, you know. But during the game, she was always very positive in her attitude, never gave us any problems at all. And I wish she could have stayed with us the whole year. But Tina, you did a great job for us. I really appreciate your effort. There you go. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. The next player, when we were in spring training, Eric told me she has a fantastic arm. She should be playing the infield, you know. And we hit some hard shots at her, and I don't think she wanted to stay in the infield. But she has a fantastic arm. She has good range in the outfield, and plays hard. Really plays hard. You know, I wish she could have. Played at that outfield position. We could have worked with her all the time. But I actually think that her spot could be in the infield someplace if she really, really wanted to work at it. She gave us a good effort when she was there, and I appreciate the time she spent with us. Brandy Peach. The next player is one of my returning players, and I know last year she came in, and I didn't know whether she wanted to play or not. I think, what do you call it, her cousin Danny talked her into playing for us, and as it turned out, she was one of the better hitters on the team. I think she batted like 340 something last year, and this year she came out again, and she was also was sick, had medication problems and stuff like that, but said, "I'm not going to make it." I called her. She said, "I'm not going to play today." And sure enough, I said, "Well, do whatever you're going to do." And then at the game, she'd be there. And I think she just wanted to give me a hard time like she gave all you guys a hard time. That's why we call her the bull, because she's always picking on everybody. And she picks on me probably more than most of you. So, but I appreciate her effort because she didn't have to come out here. And Vanessa, had a great year last year, did well this year, and she got honorable mention all league. Vanessa. know, this player right here initially wasn't on the team, and thank goodness that Brianne went out there and got her. We needed a backup pitcher with Tina, and then she came out along with Jessica, and she went out there and she gave it her best shot. She went in there. I know sometimes she would probably tell me, Todd, please get me out of this game or something like that. But she stayed in there. And the one thing about Victoria, that as a pitcher, that I really liked, it didn't matter what happened. The next pitch, she'd always throw a strike. She didn't care. She'd throw a ball there, they hit her or not. She'd always come back and throw a strike. And to be a good pitcher, you got to show no emotion on the mound. She never got excited. She never got down. Everything else, she went back there and just did her game until her arm couldn't handle it anymore, and then she'd have to come out. But I really appreciate her coming out, and she played great outfield for us, and our time on the mound we really appreciate your effort. Victoria? Thanks a lot, Victoria.
God, you weren't even looking.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there you go. The next player is second generation of the Rileys over here. But Marissa told me she's going to stick it out no matter what happens. So she came out, and let me tell you, I hit balls to her at third base, and I know they hurt her because, you know, if you're going to play third base, you're going to have to take some shots. And I hit some hard balls bouncing off her kneecaps, her leg, off her chest, or whatever, and she never budged. She never budged. She'd walk out there and tears would be in her eyes, and she'd come back and hit me some more balls. And then when we went through all our physical exercise and everything, she never once said, I'm not going to do it, or I can't do it. She'd always finish whatever routine that these young ladies gave them. And I don't think I could have done it, you know. But Marissa never complained about that, never complained. And she was always there, and she always gave 100% on the field, no matter what. And I appreciate her effort. She's really a good team player. Thank you, Marissa. The next player is another one that, thank goodness, Brianne talked to, Jessica. She came out, played outfield. We put her everywhere else, and she never complained. I know the exercises that Edna put Frog and Jessica through, I turned my back because I don't think I could have done it. It was really tough what she went through. And she never complained about anything. She'd go behind the plate, no matter what happened, take balls off her arms or whatever. She never complained about it. I walked up to her, asked her a few times if she was okay. She had tears in her eyes, never said anything. She didn't say, I don't want to come out. She stayed in the game. It gave us a total effort back there, and we really appreciate what she did. Thank you, Jessica. And the last one is our captain, our team captain, our sophomore captain. Last year, I'll give you a story. Tina came on the team, and she said she never played softball before. I said, oh, great. This should be a lot of fun. And so it was sort of fun watching her, but she was so determined that she wanted to play. I thought she would never start on the softball team. Never start. And I'm being truthful. I said, well, you know, better stay at your mom and dad's shop up there. But she hung in there, and she listened, and she never complained about anything. She was always there, working, first one on, first one off, asking to take extra hits. She was a right-hander last year, and we converted her to a left-hander because of her speed. And as a captain, she did an outstanding job for us, because I know a lot of times I call her to make some phone calls for me, and she always came through. She was a great team captain, and I really appreciate it. And obviously the league appreciated it too, because they made her honorable mention all league. Tina Tran. Oh, I'm sorry. They must have misplaced it. I thought it was here. I'm not going to forget what Frog went through also with us. Frog, you'll have yours here too, because I thought it was in the office. Frog went through a catching with Jessica, and like I said, she worked her butt off back there with Edna, and she was a team player. Never complained at all. Unfortunately, she had a personal problem with a family situation, and with a fire at her house, and it really pushed her back from participating in the game. But she lost a lot of stuff in that. But she always showed up at practice, and she asked sometimes, can she come to the game and sit in the dugout? And she always was aware that she couldn't. She'd tell me that she couldn't make it, and I appreciate them. You know, when the players call me, tell me, "Gee, Todd, I just can't do it. I got personal problems or something like that." But Froggy gave a great effort, and I appreciate it. And you'll get your certificate. I don't, it's probably in the office someplace. But I didn't forget you. Okay. Okay. We have 4 awards to give out, and you know, awards are always difficult to hand out because you have so many girls that have given a heck of an effort, but there's only 4 that we can give out, and we talked about it, and to be truthful, if I could do it, I would give the girls that hung all the way through MVP. I would give all you guys MVP. You guys that stood in and played all the way through pain, injury, and whatever, I would give you an MVP because all you guys deserved it. Because you guys went through a lot of hell sometimes with sickness and everything else, but you guys stayed there and made the team what it was. And the coaches, we really appreciate your effort. But we have to get down to the awards. Okay. And the first one is the easy one because she's our team captain. And she was there for us. She was there for me. She was there for Ed and the rest of us. And I know sometimes you guys gave her a hard time. You know, she tried to. I say, hey Tina, let's get them going. And they might say a couple nice things to you now that can't be repeated here. But you know what? She was there. She led the team, and she gave a great effort, and we appreciate it. Tina Tran, team captain. Okay, the next one is, this is an easy one for me, and an easy one for the coaches, because we had the most inspirational player on the team, you know. And even though she couldn't play, she was there all the time with us, helping us out, helping you guys with swinging, soft toss, helping you in the infield, and being there for you, going on our trips with us and encouraging you guys all the way. And I really appreciate it, as the coaches do, and Jonas, that you were there for us when it was sometimes difficult for you. But most inspirational player was Zizi, and that was Brianna. Okay.
That one was easy for me.
Well, yeah, some of the coaches were easy call, and looking at the whole thing, it was a pretty easy call because, like I said, she sacrificed a lot. I think she might have only missed 2 practices, and when she did miss, she called me. And I know she got injured, learning different positions and getting beat up. And I know she talked about us after the games and stuff, but during the game she was 100% behind us, and she pushed you guys, you know. And a catcher in that position is always the team captain out there in the field. And the most improved player was unanimous among the coaches was Jessica Rodriguez. And the last one is the Offensive Player of the Year. And I hope a bunch of you guys are fighting for this trophy and this presentation next year. But she batted like 100 points above everybody else, and she came in when we needed her. And even when she went 100%, she was there for us and got the key hits for us when we needed it. And appreciate her coming on the team and helping us out. The Offensive Player of the Year is Cassandra Dunn. Thanks a lot. Do you have anything to say? All of a sudden she's quiet.
I know.
I wish,
My bosses are here.
she'll probably tell you, when we walk out of here, she'll probably say pole to pole. I couldn't have done pole to pole. But anyway, you girls, you know, from the bottom of my heart, I know that a lot of you guys really went through a lot, and injuries, and having to work, and pay your bills, and go through the season we had. But you know, I've been on a lot of winning teams and stuff like that. But the spirit that you guys showed under this record that we have is really admirable to you guys. You guys really hung in there. And if I had a bunch of girls that I would want to play again over and over again and see you guys really do well as this team. You guys never gave up. You guys really inspired me a lot. You know, you guys think, well, Todd's going to go home and he's going to have a couple beers and relax. No, you go home and I think about this game. When you're a coach, you think about this constantly. How can you make the team better? How can you make this one be a little bit better? And but you guys came through, you know. And by the way, you still owe me 25% from shoe mashing. Okay. But I appreciate your effort. I hope you girls plan on returning this next year to play. I know we got players coming in, but I appreciate the effort. But the girls that are going to come back and play, please work out during the summer, because I know it's going to be pretty tough. But the thing about it, it'll make you guys better overall. It will make you guys better overall. And stick to it. Never give up. No matter what you're doing, it's like you did this year. No matter what you do, never, ever give up. Okay? And like I told you, I want you, the sophomores, I want you to call me when you have your bachelor's degree. Okay? I want to make sure that you have to finish school. That's a prerequisite, okay? Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it.